used to be a newspaper editor, and when I was a newspaper editor, even though I was young, it was very important to me that my journalists were taken care of and that the paper had the kind of reputation it did. See, I've learned some stuff this evening about how others who consider themselves to be intelligents may or may not have viewed what we did. But when I worked there, we were able to more than double the circulation in a short amount of time while increasing production by 100%. We doubled production as well. And in terms of the time frame. And we won several awards in noted communities, including for best labor coverage in the state of Illinois, 3 of the 4 years that I was the editor. And I'm very proud of that. So when I hear that a publication is trying to make inroads in a community and discuss themselves as having the capacity to assist communities with very important matters, I take this seriously. I used to have a lot of respect for The Economist. It was this thing that was unconventional. I thought in some ways, by virtue of the fact that it did not have bylines, that it kind of was holding everybody who contributed to a standard whereby everybody who contributed was equally responsible for the quality and the character of the publication. But it is more than concerning that after Nigeria, on its own, makes a decision to engage in a specific kind of political decision making concerning its leadership, that The Economist decides it's going to publish a report, presumably about fintech and intelligence units fintech called State of Play. As if you're introducing some new gaming model into Nigeria to be published on the 1 year anniversary of them deciding on the leadership for their national legislative body. You called it State of Play, as if you're really not much interested in anything more than Nigeria, than some sort of Game Boys ship. I find that personally, as a journalist and editor, unacceptable. If you're a publication that's worth your salt, then you would have had more consideration. You certainly knew the significance of that date. And you certainly knew that at any time since that conference on March 26th of 2009, you could have published that report in a good faith effort, even with your quirky name. But you did not have a good faith effort, did you? Were you aware of the recent decisions that have been made by the Nigerian Central Bank concerning inclusion of members of its society? Because it doesn't seem like that's reflected in the priorities stated. And you certainly didn't spend as much time and as much space coding them to the metric 20 in your report on this day. I also find that offensive. As a journalist and a newspaper editor, as your colleague, I find what you did to be offensive.